Tuesday, November 10th. Call to
Should be
order.
Wednesday.
Ooh, you're right. Wednesday. I'm retired. I don't, if it says Tuesday, I'm
No.
gonna say Tuesday.
Yeah. My error, Scribner's error.
Confirmation of proper notice.
Notice was posted on the 3rd according to requirements.
But a roll call.
Steve,
Here,
Michael,
Here.
Deborah,
Here,
Colin. Colin Smith.
guess he didn't make it.
He
in.
still hasn't, gotten in.
All right, and Monica. Okay, we do have 3 of 5. We have a quorum.
Okay. All right, has everybody read the minutes from last time? I need to get an approval.
I approve the minutes.
Well, we got Deb, second.
I second.
There you go. Thank you. All right, you good to go?
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go. There we go. All right, minutes are approved. All right, discussion on the second floor renovation issues.
You didn't make it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll let John.
All right, as you know, we had the slippage issues in the Woodland area. We've painted the 2 units that the owners have requested the resurfacing. They're very satisfied with what happened. We also had some gluing issues in
Springdale.
Springdale and Oak. 3 units, or actually 4 units, 303, 305, 313, and 801. 3 of the 4 are finished, and they're still working on the 4th one today. And those issues should be taken care of. All of them were done under a warranty basis, no charge. We're hoping to resume construction or renovation in a different manner starting January, where we will obviously address the issues of support and then put a thick layer of slip resistant type of painting materials directly on the surface above without putting the waterproofing material down. It's hoped that this will, well, that lasted 30 years the other way. So there's a good chance that we'll get a good duration out of this in hoping to keep the water migration coming through. In talking to the contractor, we want to try to level the slabs as much as possible when they do it. Try to pitch it toward the scupper. He said we might use a small amount of that waterproofing material under the scupper to keep from erosion going there, because all these scuppers that you see on upper units are rotted when we take it apart because it's original material. And so if we use a base for the scupper, this small amount of waterproofing material, it'll add to the life of the scupper. And we hope to start again in January.
Very good. Any,
Did I understand that correctly? That you're not putting down the membrane anymore?
That is correct.
Okay.
Primarily, there'll be couple benefits. We've done 37, and 3 or 4 had issues with slippage. And secondarily, it looks like we could maybe almost in half the cost by going with this slip resistant paint without the material and do twice as many units and get them done quicker with this manner.
Great.
all right, any other comments? All right, let's go on. How are we doing with the building cleaning?
Building cleaning is 99.9% done. He has to do the alleyway behind H. Yes,
Yeah, H.
the alleyway behind H this Saturday, and everything will be done. Very positive comments from the owners.
Did you do the carports?
Yes, he will do that too.
Oh, he's gonna do that this week, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, and I might say that the buildings really came out nice. Even the ones that were done at the very, very beginning, John and I have gone back and looked at, and they still look really good, so. For what it costs us compared to having a company come and power wash the buildings, it's amazing.
Also should increase the life of the paint
Oh, yeah.
by at least another year, which helps us in the reserve ends. The paint quality itself is not, is still good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't rub it and get chalkiness or anything
Yeah.
like that. So
Mhm.
aesthetically, if it looks good and the paint's good, we got an extra year under our belt.
That's a definite plus.
Yeah. All right, second floor cleanings, what else do we have there? Second floor decks, we got.
Basically, the request from Tina Gillen. Is the only other thing.
Oh, yeah, we have another request for wood flooring or vinyl planks upstairs, and for the most part, over the last, 4 years that I've been with the building committee, we've pretty much declined anybody putting it in the living room and bedroom, and they've understood, and we really haven't had any issues. But we've got somebody who seems to be pushing the envelope. So I'm thinking it's time that we talk about or really get around to doing something about changing the wording in the bylaws as far as the second floor flooring in the living room and bedroom areas to doing away with wood, period.
Or hard surface.
Or hard
Wood or
surface.
any kind of.
Any kind of hard
laminate.
surface, any kind of hard surface.
Right.
In those two areas, we should. Hear any discussion? Anyone want to talk about it?
My suggestion is that we do make that change because irregardless of what I've heard from people that have had their upstairs neighbors applying that kind of surface, it's been noisy, noisier than if it was carpet. And I guess if you want a hard floor, you need to stay on the bottom or go to the bottom.
I would agree. I would agree wholeheartedly.
Well, there still would be an allowance for the entry hallway, kitchens, bathrooms, and lanais.
Yeah,
The real
Right.
sound problems seem to be when it's the grand expanse of the living areas in the bedrooms.
Exactly, because that's a longer pace and people are more.
I'm on, Joanne, shush.
there's Colin.
Oh, yes. Hi.
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 Yeah.
Do we need a,
Well, the whole idea, I guess, would be to recommend to the board that they consider an amendment to that particular article with the statement of prohibiting hard surface materials other than those places completely. That would be
Right.
what I think you're trying to do.
right, exactly.
And what about the places that are already done?
You can't,
Can't,
I mean, that's basically it would be a grandfather situation.
Gotcha.
do I hear a recommendation for us to recommend that to the board?
I make a recommendation that you suggest or recommend to the board that we eliminate the ability to put in hard surfaces on upstairs units except for the aforementioned hallway, bathroom, and kitchen.
And lanai.
And the lanai.
Right.
All right. We need a second. Or here a second?
I second.
There you go. Thank you, John. Michael.
Right.
All right, all for it. Say aye or raise your hand.
Aye. I'm
Aye.
raising my hand.
Aye. All right, we will do that.
I guess we should just chat if you don't mind, Steve.
Yeah, go.
If Miss Gillen, who was within her rights to pursue, we, with the proper underlayment, we may have to let her be one of those, what's the word, a grandfather units.
Exception.
Because it's not in the documents right now,
Yeah.
really. Even though we've asked her not to, we don't know what she's gonna do. She's
Yeah.
been very receptive to the conversation, but she still kind of wants to do it.
I sent her an email because she emailed me directly and I sent her an email back, just sort of explaining really lighthearted terms, as it were, that, you know, you don't want to make an enemy of your neighbor downstairs. And she thanked me for my response, but that was all. So if she pursues it, then, you know, as long as she gets it done before we get this change in, she would have to be grandfathered.
Steve, could I ask a question?
Sure.
So we've determined that the vinyl flooring with a lot of sound deadening underlayment doesn't work.
Now, if you have a dog or you wear any kind of leather shoe, it's noticeable downstairs. One of the ones that we had a real big problem with and complaining by the lower level, I think John and I went over and you could hear it. You could hear somebody just walking across the top floor, unless they were in socks or tennis shoes. So it just doesn't seem to be enough. Most of the buildings that have newer buildings have like a 10-inch slab, and we only have a 4-inch slab with a wood plywood on top. Then it just comes through.
Okay, thanks.
There's certain sounds going to migrate anyway. I think that anybody who lives downstairs understands when the sliders are moved upstairs
Yeah,
or anything like that, it's going to
Right.
happen. But the real irritants seems to be either moving a chair, furniture, you know,
Oh, yeah.
sitting back from a table or something like
Yeah.
that, and the
Or
walking.
vacuuming.
Mhm,
Yeah,
Vacuuming will do it
yeah.
too.
that would do it.
mhm. You know, it does make it restrictive for the owners upstairs. There's no question about that. But it's really bad.
Didn't we always have a rule that said that in the living areas you had to have carpeting upstairs? I mean, I moved here 8 years ago and that was the rule then. And I thought that was pretty standard.
That's been standard, yeah, but it's not in the bylaws that way.
It may have been, George, before that, but the bylaws that we're working with right now were approved January 1st, 2011. And it has the provision, I don't know if you saw it, but we sent it out just before, and Chris has it up. It's a paragraph that at best is almost confusing to start with.
Yeah,
Okay.
any other discussion? Okay, then I'll recommend to the board that we look at this.
Any comments?
Committee comments. Oh, I had one other thing I wanted. We had talked about charging ports for electric cars a while back, and we took it to the electric company to see if we could come right off of the meters outside of the front and put a box there with 220 power. And the electric company seemed to say we should get our electrician and he would be able to determine that. Our electrician got married and has been out in Colorado for a month or 6 weeks. But I believe he is back. And we want to get him out to have him look at this and see if it is possible. So I just want to throw that out there. And
How did they move the electric? In our subdivision, there's an electric car and it's in the carport.
Yeah,
How
well,
did they run the electricity all the way over there?
he paid to have a meter come right off the electrical box by the dumpster on his own. I think it was like
By the
$4,000.
dumpster. Okay, so they didn't have to run it under the blacktop or something.
No, he has a separate meter for that one plug that he
Okay.
pays for.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyways, I just
Now
want to
you're
point out
talking-
we are still looking at.
I got a couple things.
You're talking about connecting it to those places that have external electric meters, correct?
Yes,
On the front of their houses?
yeah, everybody does. All the meters are out
No,
front.
everybody does. Everybody does it. Well, your own meter for that unit is, but some of them have second meter.
Now, the second meter is probably for an upstairs unit.
No, this is, Mr. Haggerty, can you address that? That's the one that seems to be in contest about, it belongs to the owner, but, I'm referring to an issue we had at Oakview recently, where
Okay,
some of the units have an exterior, like a second meter.
With all due respect, Deb, I don't think that's the case. What was happening,
Oh, okay.
what was happening is the wires running from the handhold to the meter became deficient. And it was actually a wiring issue, but not a meter. Everybody has the same type of hookup at the front of the unit.
Okay,
And
because I know not
go ahead.
all the units have those. The end units on an end of a trunk don't have that second box. I don't know that it's a meter. It's a box that has it has two major switches in it.
Yeah, well, I think Steve kind of covered that, Debbie, that the two boxes are one for upstairs and one for downstairs. And so the end units don't have, there's nobody above them, so you only have a single box.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So anyway, as long as we're talking about that, the electricians are here. They have reconnected 164. They've reconnected the 473. They're working on the garage and P, and they still have 717 to go. But those ground straps, after almost a year, are being removed as we speak, which finally it's been FP&L's. They've held off because what happens is our electrician was ready to do the work, but they had to have an appointment with FP&L to turn all the power off, and they just go to their own drum. But we finally got to a to a supervisor that listened versus the local engineer, and so that's what's happening right now.
What about,
Also, go ahead, I'm sorry.
what about, I don't know whether 366 or 367 that has a line that does not have,
Yeah,
the full
that's being addressed also, Colin.
great.
Interesting, I'm trying to remember because some of the meetings run together, but we had a discussion about testing the generator. And if any of you were there, we got into, I know you were, Chris, and Roger and I were talking about it. Anyway, it's interesting the fact that we have been doing a monthly test on the generator since its inception.
Yeah.
But Roger, who had some experience in his former life, stated the fact, well, have we turned off all the power on the building and did the generator come on? That's the ultimate test. And it was a good idea because we hadn't done that. And so we turned on all the power and the generator never came on.
Oh, geez.
Oh, geez.
We had service yesterday and they came out and found out that the generator line runs to a relay system in the on the exterior of the building. And I guess we could blame the lightning strike that hit the computer system, the camera system and everything else. That relay was out. So it had to be replaced yesterday, and now we know that everything's going to work again.
Good job.
That's good.
Interesting.
We discussed it, John, when we were talking about disaster preparedness.
That's right.
And the
Okay.
fact,
yeah.
the fact that we would try to identify people in our community that might need to have medicine stored at the office if all the power was out.
Yeah. Well, thank you for.
Yeah. We talked
Okay,
about.
well, anyway, we know it's good. That was a great idea.
Good. Anything else you got?
No.
No? All right. Committee member comments? Nothing? Owners? Okay. Do I hear,
You want to set another meeting?
hold on, man.
You want to skip till the Christmas, till January?
Yeah,
Like the third
yeah, unless
Wednesday?
something comes up, I think we'll skip the late December meeting and do something in January,
Third Wednesday?
third Wednesday in January. All right,
Sounds good.
all right, 10 o'clock, the third.
Happy holidays.
All right,
Same to all. Any other questions from anybody?
I guess not. All right, we stand adjourned.
Or we wa?
Finally got